everybody. Today we are going to be covering what the Raptors need to do this offseason. Now, before we begin, I just want to say what the lineup is before you get confused on what I'm going to say later. So, first of all, there's Scotty Barnes. Then, RJ Barrett, Emmanuel Quickley, Grady Dick, Gary Trent scratch that. Not Gary Trent Jr. because technically he's still in free agency. Kelly Olynyk, Bruce Brown Jr., Chris Boucher, Ochai Agbaji, Jakob Podol. I always mess that name up. It's so annoying. Jacoby Walter, who they drafted. Davion Mitchell, Sasha. I don't know how to say his last name. Malik Williams, Jonathan Mogbo, another guy who they drafted, Mahamadou Gay, Jordan Waro, DJ Carden, Jamal Sheed, Garrett Temple, Kobe Simmons, Brandon Carlson, Javon Freeman Liberty, and Jahemis Ramsey. Now we have to say what the team needs are. According to NBA stats, the Toronto Raptors last season were number 26 in defense. There are only 4 teams worse, and we're talking about the teams that were the worst this season. The Hawks, the Wizards, the Hornets, and the Jazz. So, for this offseason, they won. So, first thing I'm going to write down, they need a lot of defense because those new guys, no, I don't think so. The Raptors are also ranked 26 in three-point shooting, but in my opinion, three-point shooting isn't that good. And if we scroll up here, if we go to points FBPS, they're number 1, so that's good. But if I'm being honest, look, the NBA has turned into a three-point contest, so they're going to need some three-point shooting. So I'm just going to write that down real quick and move on to another team need. Yeah, they're really in the mud. Never mind, sorry. Going back to the lineup, imagine Jontay Porter and Gary Trent Jr. aren't there. They need a lot of floor spacing. Like Grady Dick and Emmanuel Quickley, yeah, but like seriously, who else can space the floor good on this team? I'm going to write down floor spacing, and I'm also going to write down a big, because do they have a big? I mean, Jakob Podol. Let's scroll down this list real quick. Yeah, no sign of a 7-footer anywhere. Jakob Podol is the only one. Oh wait, never mind. Jakob Podol is 6'10", which means they really need a big, which is good on offense too. So I'm gonna write that down too. So now that I'm done writing down all of the team needs, let's start to talk about what they need. Our first thing that we need to talk about is signing. There aren't that many players that are still on the market for free agency, but there are still quite a few. Gary Trent Jr., they need to sign, okay? They need to bring him back very fast, okay? And then there's Tyus Jones, Isaac Okoro, Markelle Fultz, Spencer Dinwiddie, Precious Achiuwa, Luke Kennard, Landry Shamet, Doug McDermott, Taylor Horton-Tucker, Cedi Osman, Jay Crowder, Patrick Beverley, and finally Gordon Hayward. Not all of these would be a perfect fit for the Raptors, but I have some in mind. Sorry for that voice crack. Just got something stuck in my throat. And now I'm going to write them down, and I'm going to discuss them with you. Okay, I have broken this down to a few players, which is 6 players. Gary Trent Jr., Spencer Dinwiddie, Luke Kennard, Taylor Horton Tucker, Patrick Beverley, and Precious Achua. Sorry, I have a hiccup. Well, first of all, Gary Trent Jr. Oh God, stupid hiccups. Gary Trent Jr. is for they only have enough money to sign 2 players. Okay, Gary Trent Jr. is for sure. Okay, I'm looking at all of these. The fourth team needs that I've written down: defense, 3-point shooting, spacing, a big. He's good. Last year he was the Raptors' best 3-point shooter. He's good at spacing the floor. He's not a big. His defense is so, but that's who they need. Now, for their second player that they need somebody that's tall. And that also follows offense correctly by the coach. And I think Precious Achua is the tallest among all of the free agents that are left. And he's played with the Raptors before, so he's already gonna have a good morale starting out. So I think Precious Achua is gonna be the second one. If they waive one of the players, I'm talking about probably somebody that's worse on their team, like I don't know, DJ Carden. If they do waive DJ Carden, which would be good, they would be in debt, but they would have enough money to sign another guy that I think would be good, Patrick Beverley. He doesn't have good mentality, but he's an amazing defender. He can easily get in other people's heads. So if they decide to waive somebody like that, it's Gary Trent Jr., Precious Achua, and Patrick Beverley. Now moving on to staff changes. For pro scouts and scouts, it's amazing, okay? For the last 2 years, I think the Raptors did some good draft picks, so scouts, you're safe. But there is one guy that I need two guys that I need to fire. Darko Rajakovic as the head coach. This guy was coming in, when this guy was coming in, people thought that he was going to be good because he's already had assistant coach experience. He was horrible. I can't believe I'm saying this, but worse than Nick Nurse. So that guy, easily, in 5 seconds, I would fire him. Now the second person that I was talking about that I wanted to fire is the GM of the team, Bobby Webster, the GM of the team. This year, oh my God, this year there is a an award for executive of the year. This year was from the Celtics one. If there was an award for the worst executive of the year, it would go to Bobby Webster. He traded away Pascal Siakam for Bruce Brown. He's good, but let's be honest. Is he even top 50? And Siakam is definitely top 50. Okay, stop. Don't nobody even talk about that. He traded away OG Anunoby Precious Achua, and Malachi Flynn. Precious Achua might be coming back if they do what I'm telling them to do. For RJ Barrett and Emmanuel Quickley. Emmanuel Quickley has lived up to the hype. Sorry. RJ Barrett, not that much. He traded away Dennis Schroeder for Spencer Dinwiddie. Spencer Dinwiddie got waived. Pretty much saying, you just traded away Dennis Schroeder for air. Yeah, I know that you want air to survive, but I mean, do you want your team to win or not? So I think in 5 milliseconds, Bobby Webster, get out of my face right freaking now. Here is an article from NBA News that Chris Quinn is number 1 for NBA coaches that are available right now. And you could already guess we're trying to replace Darko Rajakovic. He looks like... Look, number 2 is Becky Hammon. And the gap between Chris Quinn and Becky Hammon is enormous. So, in my opinion, the Raptors, I don't know who they should take because I don't know how Chris Quinn would... It's not about how good you are at coaching. It's about how you coach the team. Chris Quinn, yeah. Kenny Atkinson caught my eye. Kenny Atkinson can also be an amazing head coach for the Raptors. So it's either Kenny Atkinson or Chris Quinn. Chris Quinn, he might have... everyone is saying that he's the best coach available right now. He'd be asking for too much money. But Kenny Atkinson might not. Coaches don't ask for a lot of money usually. But when you're the best coach in the country, then you're going to be asking for a lot of money. But if you're not, you would be asking for by a margin less money. So, Kenny Atkinson. But if they have enough money, Chris Quinn. Let's just say they waived another guy that was not doing anything for the Raptors. There's 10 of them, trust me. If they waived another guy for them, they could get Chris Quinn. If they're choosing to stay where they are, Kenny Atkinson, welcome to the Raptors. I'm not going to waste my time looking through all of the GMs that are available. Let's just move on to the next thing that I want to talk about. This is a trade simulator. Instead of telling you what the trades I'm going to think about doing, I'm going to show them. So there's over here trending players being traded. They're not being traded, they're thinking of being traded. That's the top 25 trending players that are trying to get traded. And there's one guy that caught my eye. Not because of his talent, not because he's top 50, not because he's top 10 NBA. He's Zach LaVine. The Bulls hate Zach LaVine's huge contract. And last season, they have asked almost every single NBA team that they could think of who wants to trade Zach LaVine, actually, because they don't want his big old contract, okay? So now, I got an idea. Zach LaVine is a good three-point shooter. He's one of the clutchest players right now. He's not a big, but he's a good defender. He could space the floor like nothing ever seen before. So I'm gonna think about what we could do as our trade for now, and I'm gonna come back to you later with my first trade. Back from the trade, look. Raptors receive Zach LaVine, Henry Drell, and a 2025 first round pick, and the Bulls get Kelly Olynyk, Bruce Brown, and Sasha Vezina, whatever, and a 2026 first. Let's keep on looking, okay? And this time, instead of wasting your time, I'm gonna come back to when I decided what the trade is. I've made my decision. Zach LaVine, Henry Drell go to the Raptors for Bruce Brown, Jakob Poeltl, and a second round pick. Zach LaVine is amazing, okay? But the Bulls don't like his contract. Jakob Poeltl and Bruce Brown are individual players making the same money as Zach LaVine as a full. So, and Henry Drell was just to add another player. And a second round pick in 2026 might turn into somebody good. We all know that Mark Price and Draymond Green were both drafted in the second round. So, yeah, I don't think this would be a bad trade. It would actually be good for both teams. Oh my god, this is so annoying. Stop showing the fans. There we go. So I'm going to do this trade, and I'm going to write Zach LaVine and Henry Drell, take off Bruce Brown and Jakob Poeltl from the lineup right now. So that is our first trade done, and we'll see if we could do any other trades. Here's another trade that I finalized. Brook Lopez for Sasha, I'm not going to try to pronounce that last name, and Kelly Olynyk. I have one last trade in mind, but it's going to be the last trade, okay, guys? Stick with me here. Here's our second trade. D'Angelo Russell and Maxwell Lewis for Ochai Agbaji, Jordan Nwora, and Donovan Mitchell. D'Angelo Russell would be good enough for all three of them, but we needed some money, so Maxwell Lewis, I guess, welcome to the squad. But this is going to be our last trade, and we're going to move on to the last thing that I want to talk about to you guys. Final lineup is Scotty Barnes, Grady Dick, RJ Barrett, Emmanuel Quickley, Gary Trent Jr., Brook Lopez, Zach LaVine, Chris Boucher, D'Angelo Russell, Monty Drell, Jacoby Walter, Maxwell Lewis, Malik Williams, Mogbo, Mamadou Gay, Jamal Sheed, Temple, Simmons, Carlson, Javon Freeman, Liberty, Ramsey, and Pat Bev. And this is the starting five. It's going to be at starting point guard, it's going to be D'Angelo Russell. Backup point guard, Emmanuel Quickley. Starting shooting guard, Zach LaVine. Backup shooting guard, RJ Barrett. Starting small forward is going to be Gary Trent Jr. Backup small forward, I don't think we have one Jacoby Walter. Now starting power forward, Scotty Barnes. Backup power forward, Chris Boucher. Starting center, Brook Lopez. Backup power forward, backup center is going to be, I had to do another trade there because I didn't have a backup center, but it's going to be Malik Williams, Will Barton, and Garrett Temple. 2 first-round picks for Nikola Vucevic. That's going to be the last trade of this video, actually. So now I'm going to tell you what my real starting lineup is. So now, starting point guard, D'Angelo Russell. Backup, Emmanuel Quickly. Starting shooting guard, Zach LaVine. Backup shooting guard is going to be RJ Barrett. Sorry, I had a blank there. And never mind. Zach LaVine, starting shooting guard. Backup shooting guard, Gary Trent Jr. Starting small forward is RJ Barrett. Backup small forward is Jacoby Walter. And our starting power forward is going to be Scotty Barnes. Our backup power forward is going to be Chris Boucher. Starting center is going to be Vucevic. And backup center is going to be Brook Lopez. So that is our final team, and that concludes what the Raptors should do this offseason if they do the right moves. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stick around for the next video. It's going to be very soon. So I'll see you in the next video. What can I say? See you in the next video.